friends. Welcome to the Ancient Health Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Chris Motley. And today, let's talk about constipation and parasites. Parasites can create constipation. We're going to talk about the mechanisms of constipation with parasites. And also, let's talk about the herbs, such as Artemisia, black walnut, that can kill off parasites, plus other herbs that can help you with bowel movements, such as Cascara Sagrada. We can then lean into some of the simple tests like parasites.org that has a really good test that can test for different types of parasites. And I wanted to give you just a couple simple things you can do at home to help you with constipation, such as taking magnesium. So let's dive in. When we are talking about parasites and constipation, remember that there are a few different types of parasites. In our culture, we think that parasites don't come into the U.S., but they're all over the world. There are the protozoa parasites, and they're the parasites that look like small globs with little tails, and they basically make up the parasites such as Babesia, Toxoplasma, Leishmania, even malaria, Plasmodium. And then there are the actual tapeworms, such as nematodes or cestodes or trematodes. Now there's roundworms, flatworms, threadworms like strongyloides. Those are the actual worms. Some parasites can actually live in a low oxygen environment. Some can live in a no oxygen environment. But their placement throughout the system can be in different types of organs. Some parasites can get into the lungs, the heart, the brain, the intestines, and their life cycles can really affect your intestinal world. Such infections like Leishmania or even any type of toxoplasma have been known not only to get in the lungs, but also to cultivate and grow and reproduce within the intestines. Now, I know it can make you feel queasy, but this is a reality. If you have symptoms where you're constipated, and then you can mix with diarrhea, you may have those small pellet poop, rabbit poop at times, mucus, and then you get any type of bloating after you eat. Clear sign that there's a parasite infection. So when you have any of those that are stuck in the small intestine, and you didn't do a great parasite cleanse like they used to do in the olden days where they used to use turpentine or kerosene, if you don't do those types of cleanses and you didn't take a proactive way to try to cleanse them out of the body, they probably are still there. So let's not get queasy. Let's look at some simple ways. But the mechanism, again, is that you could have a parasite in the intestines holding on into that area. But this is the kicker. Many parasites are very lipophilic. They hold on to fats. One of the biggest areas that you'll find parasites are going to be in the gallbladder. And the gallbladder holds bile. And bile is made up of cholesterol. It's a liquid that your liver makes to dump into the gallbladder, and then it's transported by a tube into the stomach to help you digest fats. The bile makes its way down into the intestines, and then it'll combine with fiber. And eventually, fiber and bile will make poop. But parasites love the cholesterols in the bile. There's reports that you can read that Leishmania, even Toxoplasma, even flukes, schistosomas, will metabolize cholesterol. This is why cholesterol makes hormones. That's why at certain times of the month, ladies have really bad problems with breakouts and acne and having headaches, cramping. A lot of it is parasitic. So you have the parasites hanging around the intestines. The bile is there combining with fiber. The parasites can hold on to the actual bile and be recycled. Some biles recycle back through the intestinal wall and push back up into the liver and gallbladder. But if it's stuck in the intestine and it's munching on the cholesterol, the toxic overload from the parasite not only can slow down the neurological information in the colon and intestines, it basically can actually cause your poop to become less slick. Fats and oils coat your poop to let it slide through. But if your body is not able to take the fats and bile and coat the poop, then your poop becomes dry and hard. Sometimes it'll stick in the diverticuli, in the little round portions of the colon. And then you start to have the pebbles. Sometimes the bile is stuck on the inside of the walls by itself, not being recycled because it's too dehydrated. There's too many parasites in it. And it will actually cause these big slimy pieces of mucus to come through the toilet bowl. As gross as it may sound, you all have experienced it. You guys have had poops where you come in and it is literally mucus, and then there's foam, and then there's greasy stools, and then there's bowel movements where everything is floating. If you have that, you have gallbladder parasites more than likely. So you can have poop that's dehydrated, not flowing because it's not coated with good bile and oil. And then you have peristalsis. Peristalsis is the natural movement of the poop because of muscular contractions in the intestinal walls. But this is it. If you have a neurological toxin such as ammonia, if you have, they call it formic acid, there's indolic acids, there are many types of neurological toxins that infections give off. Even mold loves bile. They'll give off ammonia and acetaldehyde. Now, it will dumb down your nerves. So it slows down your actual movement in your colon. So you have two things going against you. Neurological and poop that's dehydrated. So you have to kill off the infections. You have to get rid of the parasites in the gallbladder and in the liver. You got to stop them from transferring down into the stomach from that tube called the cystic duct. Really, literally, they're traveling through the tubes. When they get into the walls, sometimes parasites, depending on what size, shape, or form, will go into the walls and they can create cysts around their bodies and stay there for a very long time until you get tired, and then they come out, find another spot and another organ to help feed. All this creates the perfect storm for parasite constipation. And if you think about it, your parasites are going to cause weakness in the colon and in the intestines. Mold can start to accumulate. Yeast can start to accumulate. Bacteria such as strep and staph can start to accumulate. And when they accumulate, this adds into that whole toxic load. So if you have the symptoms that I just mentioned, please go in to get a parasite test. Parasites.org. Parasites.org is just one example. There is going to be parasitetesting.com. There are 3 other places that are across the pond in the German nations that have really good parasite testing, and I'm sure there's a lot more. Armin Labs, ARMIN, is really good. But try a simple, clean test. Parasites.org. One is Mrs. Rogers Hood. That's what Kim calls it. It's her Instagram and her TikTok feed. And you can get even roundworms checked for. Many of the parasites tests out there do not test for roundworms. So this is a really complete type of test that there have tests that are added in to actually test for bacteria and yeast and fungus. Get the test, see if there's any parasites in your poop. If you have a negative, which I don't think you will, also do a bowel movement test, a poop test by microgendx. Microgendx. And when you do that test, you want to see if there's high strep, high Clostridium, or high staph. Those can cause constipation as well. So then if you find the parasite, remember, study the life cycle of the parasite. Leishmania is a really good example. Leishmania will actually get injected to you. Usually they say by sand flies. Some say by mosquitoes. And when they inject the actual adult into the bloodstream, your macrophages, your immune cells, go in and eat them up. But inside the parasite are eggs. And then they release the eggs inside your cells. And then another blood vector insect will come and suck the blood. And then those eggs are inside the vector. And then they hatch inside the mosquito or the sandfly. And then they're ready to inject another person. It's the life cycle. I'm telling you, it's a life cycle. That's why some people say, man, I get bit up by mosquitoes and bugs all the time. They love me. Why? Could there be that the parasite inside the insect is driving the behavior of the insect? I believe it is. There's plenty of books. There's a book called Your Brain on Parasites that talks about how the host are driven by the action of the parasite. So the parasites will drive the behavior of the insect. And so they're going to go bite people that have those infections already inside. If you get bit up by mosquitoes, get a parasite test. Then you want to look at different herbs. I love black walnut. I don't get any sponsorship from them. I love those guys, Dr. Leibowitz, Michael and Noah. But black walnut is one of my favorites. It kills off yeast, mold, bacteria, viruses, and parasites. It's one of my favorites. Black walnut. I love Artemisia supreme. Artemisia is a great anti-parasitic. And it really is a little more gentle, I believe, than black walnut. But black walnut can be used with children too. So I love Artemisia. That's one example. And there's another one called Vidanga. 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 Check into supremenutritionproducts.com and look at some of the products. But it's really about looking at black walnut, Vidanga, and Artemisia. Look into those and see if they actually gel with you and you resonate with them. Each one of them does a really good job. To actually help you poop, I suggest that you do some forms of magnesium glycinate, or if you did a magnesium oxide. Designs for Health has a really good magnesium. But if you can look into magnesium oxide or magnesium citrate or glycinate, look into those three forms, but find a solid company. I do like Designs for Health. Integrative Therapeutics is a very good product. Just make sure that you get a high quality magnesium. I like Cascara Sagrada. Cascara Sagrada. Cascara. Cascara. Segrada. Sagrada. That's a really good herb to help with pooping and parasites. Be gentle on that beginning. And to end it all up, I love Mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica, like the drink Mimosa pudica, is an herb that basically acts like Velcro, and it can go through the walls and pull out all the eggs and pull out all the little larvae outside the walls, because they like to hide in the walls. They like to come out at night. So if your symptoms come up at night where you're itching, or if you feel like bloated at night, or you feel like your mind's going a little crazy at night, parasites. Remember, these are some examples of herbs. Look into those. Look into the magnesium, the Cascara Sagrada, the Mimosa pudica, and any type of psyllium husk. Psyllium. Psyllium. Psyllium husk are very good at scraping the walls and getting your infections cleaned out. I would suggest that you look into coffee enemas. Coffee enemas and colonics have helped my patients tremendously. Please don't think it's gross. I've had times where patients have done coffee enemas on a regular basis daily, some on a weekly, and they're some of the cleanest patients I have. So please don't laugh at it and scoff at it. The coffee enemas are so good for your body, and the colonics, plus killing off the infections. Take the herbs for a good amount of time. You want to switch them up. Take the herbs for like a month, one particular, and then switch it up, because You don't want the parasite to get used to it. And after 2 to 3 months, I would get another poop test to find out where you're at. Research herbs that kill that particular type of parasite once you narrow it down. Hopefully, after 3 to 4 months, if you're taking the right herbs at the right amounts, please check out good information like Supreme Nutrition products. Then you'll start to see that your symptoms start to fade. But you want to make sure you stay on a good maintenance. That means that you need to keep your immune system high. After you kill off the infections, always look into cleaning up your Krebs cycle, clean up your energy cycle. So you want to always make sure that you have a nutrient test that tests for vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E. Write those down. A, D, E, and K. Iodine, trace minerals, vitamin B complex, fish oils, CoQ10, alpha lipoic acid. Those will help you cover the grounds for all the nutrients that will help you with creating energy in your immune cells. You have to create this energy as you clean out the other infections. So do not neglect that. Get a nutrient test like Genova Diagnostics has a metabolomics test. You can find out if you have those actual nutrients to help you create energy. Put this in combination. You're going to see that you can have less constipation to no constipation, getting rid of the parasites, and then creating energy in your life. So check out those tests I just mentioned. And I hope that when you get to the point where you start to realize like you're taking control of your health and you realize, man, I do have parasites. I can get rid of this. I can actually help my body feel better. You have to raise the energy in your immune cells by taking those nutrients as well so that you don't stay on a constant diet of herbs. You don't want to stay on a constant diet of herbs. Does that make sense? Try to build energy while you kill things off. So I hope this was a good explanation about parasites, about the mechanisms, and what you can take, which herbs to help clean them out, clean those things out. Don't be afraid to find out information about what's going on internally. I've seen parasite cleansing help hormones, help immune function, help skin rashes, help eczema, help psoriasis, acne. I've seen it just do wonders for people when they get rid of their parasites. Literally. It will help you with your food allergies too. You'll be less sensitive to your foods once you take the right herbs to clean out those parasites. I get passionate about it. I want you guys to feel good. I want you guys to send me comments, send me questions. If you like this type of information, please like and subscribe. And please send comments to me. I'm going to make it where we're going to try to be more in touch about the comments so that I can be able to put on content that you really need for your particular health issues. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Hope you guys take it easy. Have a great weekend, wherever you're at. And I hope that you find this information helpful. All right. Until next time, take it easy. God bless.